Introducing Germany's newest high-speed train, the ICE3 Neo. This train was built for both domestic and cross-border usage for Deutsche Bahn and boasts a wide array of new features and designs that easily make it Germany's best train. I'll be taking a journey on the ICE3 Neo to showcase exactly that, and the best part is, I'll be taking you with me. So let's get this show on the rails! I've chosen to start today's journey on board one of Deutsche Bahn's original ICE3 sets, which I took from Frankfurt am Main Hauptbahnhof to travel the short distance to Frankfurt am Main Flughafen Fernbahnhof, or Frankfurt Airport long distance station, where we'll be taking our ICE3 Neo from today. Just below is the A3 Autobahn, which our route will be following today, but more on that later. For now, here's one of the entrances to Frankfurt Airport Station. This is the principal station serving, yep, you guessed it, Frankfurt Airport. As you can see, the station is fairly new and modern, as is common with most airport rail stations these days. Having opened in 1999, the station forms a key part of the Cologne to Frankfurt high-speed line and is the busiest station in Germany to serve an airport, serving around 23,000 passengers daily in normal traffic. It is also tied with Limburg Süd as being one of the two stations in Germany to be served exclusively by long-distance trains. There is also a short-distance station serving regional and commuter traffic as you walk closer towards the terminals. Though we'll not be using this today. Instead, let's walk through the main station concourse and past its many shops to head towards our train, which is anticipated to arrive any moment. Or so I thought, but more on this shortly. On the lower level, we can see the DB Lounge, which is accessible to those who are on a fully flexible first-class ticket, those who have a Bahn Comfort status, or a Bahn Card 100. I don't have any of these, so let's just make our way to the platforms. Our train is departing from platform 5 today. The long distance station has platforms numbered 4 to 7, vice 1 to 3 at the short distance one. We'll be bound for Dusseldorf in the North Rhine-Westphalia region of Germany. This is also a good time to point out that trains in Germany are infamously known for being delayed, and our train is no exception. It's already picked up a 5-minute delay on its route into Frankfurt Airport from Stuttgart, though this isn't too much of an issue as I've left plenty of time between my connecting service at Dusseldorf. This also allowed me to get breakfast from one of the platform kiosks. The sugar waffle is highly recommended. And yes, I already took a bite. I was pretty hungry. And here's our train, the brand new ICE3 Neo, or Class 408. A total of 90 of these 8-car sets are being built by Siemens for Deutsche Bahn to strengthen domestic high-speed services and replace the Class 406 ICE3M trains used on ICE international services to Amsterdam and Brussels, which will be coming to the channel soon, something you won't want to miss. As well as being part of Siemens' ever-growing Valero family, these trains are also members of the ICE3 subfamily of Deutsche Bahn's ICE trains. These consist of the original ICE3 Class 403, used in Germany and Switzerland, the ICE3M Class 406, designed for international use to Belgium and the Netherlands, the ICE3 Valero D Class 407, which is used both nationally and on international services to France, and finally, the newest member, the ICE3 Neo, or Class 408, which we're boarding right now. From the outside, it looks like the train's rather busy, but the perspective widely changes from the inside. I'm in standard class for today's trip, as I couldn't really justify the additional amount for first class, but more on that later. For now, let's go through today's route. The bulk of our journey today is at 300 km per hour along the Cologne to Frankfurt high-speed line, making only 2 stops at Siegburg, Bonn, and Cologne Messe Deutsch. Our journey into Dusseldorf Hauptbahnhof is scheduled to take 1 hour and 15 minutes, with a 9:20 arrival. The train may be delayed, but that won't stop us from enjoying this brand new high-speed train, so sit back and enjoy the ride. Our departure from Frankfurt Flughafen Fernbahnhof is approximately 5 minutes late. Time for the real fun to start as we immediately enter the Cologne to Frankfurt high-speed line. But just before that, I'd like to say I hope you're enjoying the video so far, and if you are, please consider subscribing to the channel, which is free and the best way to support my work. Thanks! The line was completed in the early 2000s and literally halved the journey times between two of Germany's 5 largest cities. The fastest journeys now take just over an hour, vice 2.5 through the conventional lines, and follows closely against the A3 Autobahn, which is just opposite us. The ICE3 family was specifically designed for this line and operate on it almost exclusively. However, the ICE4 does operate some services on the line too, which again will be out on the channel soon. The Cologne to Frankfurt high-speed line is an absolute roller coaster, but the ride quality of the ICE3 Neo is still superb, even as we head towards the line speed of 300 km per hour, though these are capable of 320 km per hour. Let's get into the features of this brand new train now, starting with the seat. For a second-class product, it's a lot more comfortable than it looks thanks to the ergonomic design. The headrests, as is common with all ICE trains, give it a premium feel too. There are also foldable armrests in the middle and aisle of each seat. And at the back of the seat, in front of this one, is a net for storing small items like bags. Just beneath this is a small bin for personal litter, as is common with all ICE trains. But here's where the ICE3 Neo becomes more innovative. The seats contain personal phone holders, which are adjustable depending on the size of your phone. This was fairly difficult to manoeuvre working with the camera, so let's just skip to the part where I actually get my phone to fit. A reasonable sized tray table is also present, and as for legroom, very generous, and that goes the same for the seat pitch. If you want to adjust this further, the seats include a recline button, which works by pulling the lever and adjusting your body as appropriate. Another handy feature is the coat hanger at the back of the seat, which works as a push button system, similar to NS's new ICNG, which I looked at a few weeks ago. Alternatively, coat hangers are located just above the windows, and slightly above this is a reading light operable by a touch sensor. Next to this are the seat numbers and electronic reservation displays, which also have a lighting system indicating whether a seat is available or not, commonly seen on the UK's Class 80X trains. And finally, there are draw-down blinds, which don't completely block the view, but instead reduce the sunlight to an appropriate level, in common with other Siemens high-speed trains. Overall, very nice for a standard class offering. The ICE3 Neo is very impressive so far. We're now arriving into our first stop of Siegburg, Bonn, the last intermediate northbound stop of the Cologne to Frankfurt high-speed line. Located in the town of Siegburg in the North Rhine-Westphalia region of Germany, it's connected to Bonn, one of Germany's oldest cities and the historic capital of West Germany from 1949 to 1990, through the Siegburg line of the Bonn Stadtbahn. Okay, now that we're on the move again, let's have a walkthrough of this train. In common with most high-speed trains, standard class is in a 2x2 configuration, with a mixture of airline and table seats. One thing I love about the ICEs is the wooden decor. It really gives a comfortable vibe throughout the train and makes it look a lot more premium. It's good to see this theme continuing with the ICE3 Neo. There's also plenty of luggage space throughout the train, something you'd expect not only from a high-speed train serving a major airport, but also one which will eventually be used on cross-border services in the not-too-distant future. That being said, did you know that Deutsche Bahn are planning on introducing a brand new interior to the newer build ICE3 Neos? Mock-ups were released the other month, and it looks absolutely fantastic. This is also expected to be retrofitted to the units already built, including ours, and I really can't wait to try it once it's ready for commercial service. Anyway, back to this interior. As we head into the vestibule, we can see a passenger information screen, much like the one back in the main seating area. The same information is displayed, including a route map showing our journey's progress. This is on most ICE trains, but not the Class 406 units that ICE3 Neo will be replacing. This is the family section, which, as the name suggests, is designed for families with young children to help keep them entertained during the journey. The compartments towards the end of the carriage highlight this perfectly, though I can't show you on this occasion, as unlike the main area, they were all full. There's also a large wheelchair accessible area here for those with reduced mobility, including a PRM toilet and, what's this? Boarding ramps. The ICE3 Neos have boarding ramps fitted to dedicated doors on this carriage to aid boarding and alighting for those with reduced mobility, which is fantastic. Here's the board restaurant, which is what makes ICE trains unique to many other high-speed trains within Western Europe. A full and proper meal service is available here, and you can even sit down at the tables and enjoy with your travel companions, new faces, or even by yourself. It's up to you. I already had breakfast, so I'll skip on this occasion. And after navigating through the board restaurant, we find ourselves in one of two first-class carriages, which features a 2x1 seating configuration. It looks like Deutsche Bahn thought a lot about solo travellers with this part of the train, which is great for people like me who travel alone most of the time. Let's check out one of these seats, seeing as first class is empty. More comfortable than standard as to be expected, but to be honest I can't really complain much about standard's comfort. Again, foldable armrests, though on both sides this time. The legroom is also incredible. A small footrest can also be found, though as most of my viewers will know, I'm not a huge fan of these, but on this occasion I found it to be okay. There appears to be a menu for the board restaurant here. There's no complimentary food or drink in first class on the ICE, minus a small biscuit, but if you want to check out the menu, it's in the description below. There's also a seat recline here, which operates in the same way as standard, albeit with greater adjustment space. Something else that's rather cool is the unique design of the cup holder, which is adjustable depending on the size of your drink. Nice! The rest of the features are pretty much the same as standard class. A tray table, a phone holder, a personal litter bin, and one thing I forgot to show up in standard class, the standard European power socket, though I was slightly disappointed to not see a USB socket on such a brand new train. Hopefully this will be fixed in the interior refit. As with the ICE4, the ICE3 Neo features storage for bicycles, which is something lacking with other models of the ICE, even following numerous refurbishments. From what I could see at Frankfurt Airport and Siegburg, Bonn, this was relatively well used throughout the journey and addresses a major problem with the legacy ICE fleet, which is great. It's worth noting too that bike storage must be booked and paid for separately for a few extra euros on ICE trains. We now pass the Valero D Class 407, heading the opposite direction towards Frankfurt. The ICE3 Neo was heavily based on the Valero D, though it has a lot more features and a better interior, in my opinion, than its predecessor, but I'll save that for a future video. Whilst we may not be able to see the world-famous Kölner Dome or Cologne Cathedral from this part of the city suburbs, we can see the Lanxess Arena, the home of the Kölner Haie, which with its capacity of 18,500 is the largest ice hockey arena outside of North America, and can even accommodate 20,000 people at concerts. Shortly afterwards, we arrive in the lower level of Köln Messe Deutz, the second largest station serving Germany's fourth largest city after Cologne Hauptbahnhof, which is located just a few hundred meters away over the Hohenzollern Bridge. The Messe in the station's name originates from the Cologne Trade Fair grounds directly north of the station, whilst the Deutz is from the Deutz district of Cologne, where the station is located. Some ICE services like ours call here to avoid changing direction at Cologne Hauptbahnhof, which would otherwise have been necessary to continue on to the last stretch towards Dusseldorf. Heading north from the station really shows the contrast between the city centre and the outer suburbs. The difference is very stark. The final thing to check out on board is the toilets. I'll be looking at the accessible one today, as I'm interested to see if it includes anything new. Right, door locked and we can begin. For one of the first services of the day and for a brand new high-speed train, it's incredibly clean as to be expected. There's also numerous coat hangers and a baby changing ramp featuring some interesting cartoon sea animals. Everything works as it should, so that's an approval from me for the toilet. Right, let's head back to our seat and finish up today's journey. Well, it's the home stretch now to Dusseldorf, so how would I rate the ICE 3 Neo? Overall, it's a fantastic train. The ride quality is incredible, and the features and comfort really keep the ICE services up with modern day standards. Dare I say, this is Germany's best train in my opinion. If I had to be picky, it's a shame that USB sockets weren't included, though I can imagine this will be different once the new interior is retrofitted. As for my ticket price, it cost me €44.90 for my standard class fare, though I did book this last minute owing to a change of plans. Even then, Deutsche Bahn fares are mainly based on demand, and a first class single would have cost me an extra €50, so for an hour and 15 I did find this rather pricey. Regardless, this was a great journey, and as a bonus we experienced a rarity amongst German rail services, picking up the 5-minute delay and arriving into Dusseldorf Hauptbahnhof 5 minutes early. And welcome to Dusseldorf. So how will you know if your service is an ICE 3 Neo? I use Wagonweb to check the train allocation of my particular service, link below, but you can also run a search on Deutsche Bahn's website for trains with bike reservations, which will either be an ICE 3 Neo or an ICE 4. I do hope you've enjoyed the video today. Please like and share it if you did to aid the channel's growth, and do consider subscribing and enabling notifications to keep up to date with my uploads, which are every Friday at 5 PM UK time. It's now on to my onward connection to continue my German travels, so thanks so much again for watching, and I'll see you next time.